Well, I mean, so
Almost had to make it explicit.
when I was your guys' coaches, what was your best goal? Your best goal? What do you got? Michael, you have to toggle through a little bit more than Augie does. Augie, how many did you get? Like 10?
I think mine would probably be I had my best assist to Michael when I did like a bike.
You biked it?
Yeah, I biked it back across the goal and Michael headed it in.
Yeah,
Really?
we were like
Remember
14.
that? Yeah.
You're 14?
Were you our coach? That one?
I don't remember that one.
I think I have video of that.
Yeah, there's a video of that one.
Yeah.
It was on purpose. You were passing that thing, or you were trying to score. You shanked it, and
No, I was going out of bounds and I put it back across. There's no way I could have scored from that angle.
So
And-
you were trying to put it in the pile. Gotcha.
Yes.
And I think Sam Weber served it up, who we were just talking about. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Sam Weber, the legend.
Always cooking.
The legend. Michael, what was your best goal?
I don't know, to be honest.
Tim,
I remember we played in the last tournament we had when we were like before the age group split. We played like some team in Potomac maybe. And I remember I scored, and then a second later I was through on goal after I had scored, and I hit the post. And the chances of me missing were lower than me scoring. And I remember I hit the post, and then that was our last tournament that we ever played as a team.
Yeah.
But I remember I scored, but that was the only goal I really remember a lot from that era.
Might be my favorite goal with you guys was one of yours, Michael. We were playing Arlington at the CCL showcase,
I remember that.
and all the coaches came to the game. I mean, like pretty much they have 9 fields at that complex, at least on the bottom part, and almost all of them were there at the game. And of course, I know most of them, so I'm like talking during the game, not really paying attention to you guys. But it was a good game. Just going back and forth, back and forth. I think you had scored or something. Maybe the score was 2-2. And Michael, you weren't. I don't think you had scored yet, and you were not in a good place. And the clock was clearly going to run out. And I remember looking at you, going like, because you were just walking back, offside, way offside. Michael, get back. You're going to have one more chance. And sure enough, the ball squirts out. Augie, I think maybe you played the ball. You or Daniel, one of you two, just saw the spacing behind, played it in, and I was like, all right, well, Michael's going to get to this first. And sure enough, you did. And you put it past the goalkeeper, dribbled in and hit the post and goes in. And, I mean, you can see the ref was like, well, I got to blow the whistle here. That ended the game, and it was and all the coaches were right there. So it was pretty cool. I was bragging the rest of the recruiting. So that was a solid day. Solid day.
I remember that. Those things were fun.
Yeah. Well, that was a good team. We haven't been in a while. So
Yeah, I was about to say we usually didn't beat Arlington.
So that was a good win. Yeah. My favorite Sam Weber story, just to backtrack a little bit from him, was when you guys were at William and Mary camp, the overnight. And I got two Sam Weber stories. Sam, I'll do the one with me first. Is when we're at the store, your dad is selling all the stuff, and I got some Twix. I'm just sitting there, we're just shooting the bowl, and Sam walks in there very confidently with like, I think you were there, Augie, with like 4 or 5 of you right behind him. And he just walks in, grabs one of my Twix. I think it was the left Twix. Grabs the left Twix out and just looks at me and goes, "This is mine now." And walks away. Like, all right.
That's funny.
And you guys you didn't really know each other then.
That was early. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew of him, but I don't think I was his coach yet. I think
I don't think you'd ever had us by then.
Yeah, because that was when I had you two, and Sam was still with who coached that team? Who had you guys before I took you guys?
It might have been
AJ.
Could have been AJ, maybe.
Who was the year before that? Older guy. You were young. You guys were like 10.
Kelvin.
Tim Christian.
Yeah.
No, somebody else.
Shaw.
Huh? Nah. But no, man, those were some fun times, man.
Oh, I know who it was, but I can't think of his name.
Yeah, older.
Yeah,
he was a good player. I remember. I think this is gonna be bad. I think he played at CNU for 1 season. That's bad.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember it.
No. I don't know all my alums that well. But
what was your other Sam Weber story?
Oh, this is when he was really young. Steve was his coach, and we're at Hines, the legendary park, Hines Middle School, and practice is over. I had the older team, and I was walking out, and all of us were kind of leaving at the same time. And Lee was standing there to pick up Sam. And Steve is talking to Lee, and he kind of looks at Sam, and he's like, "What?" It's like, "Sam." He calls, "Lightning, look at your cleats." And he had his cleats on the wrong feet. And so it was like, cleats curve or whatever. So it was like, "Sam, you were terrible today." And he had his shoes on the wrong feet. So that's just, and Sam, of course, he goes like, "Oh yeah," like he just didn't know. He's just
He was kind of a goofy little kid. He's kind of
totally.
Yeah.
At 10, he was a nightmare. Well, cool, man. I'm glad we're together again. We should be doing these in person with are you guys 21 yet?
22.
Yeah, a little cocktail or something, sharing some laughs.
Yeah.
But you guys are both about to jump into something that I talk to every recruit that I talk to. I think this is such an important thing. I think all college kids should do it. I love it. You could do an entire semester. You could do just a chunk in the summer. Like, I think, Augie, you're just doing a chunk. Michael, you might be doing more. I'm not sure. But it's study abroad. I think it's awesome. It's such a critical part to your development. You're going to learn different things. We've had a lot of guys that seen you do it. We've had guys jump in for an entire semester, and it's attached to a scholarship where they get to study Oxford, which is a cool thing to add to your resume. But most of my guys like to do the summertime trips where they're just gone for a few weeks or a month, where they get to have that full experience, but it's not taking the entire semester out. They're getting some college credits out of it. And of course, the culture shock and all that fun stuff that you get to experience, the food and the different, the language barriers, all that fun stuff that's part of it is just so great for your development. But so, Augie, Michael, which one of you guys want to kick us off? But why don't you tell us what you're about to do and how long you're going, and we'll do some follow-ups from there.
Yeah, I guess I'll start. I'm going to Lisbon, Portugal on the 2nd of January. I'm going for 2.5 weeks before classes start, the spring semester. I kind of needed the credits, but also wanted to do something like that. And it's kind of harder with soccer to do it in the spring, or I guess fall and spring. So I thought it was a good idea to do it during the winter, do a J term, and still get that experience.
Did you get to choose your spot? You got to choose your spot, or is that kind of like the agreement William Mary currently has? Like, how did you end up at Lisbon?
No, so this is I heard other people talking about doing a J term, and William Mary has a page where they just list they have ones through the school and then also third party ones. So I'm doing a third party one that was listed on the website. Cool. And there were a few other places. I was looking at Berlin, London, and it was between those and Portugal. So I ended up choosing Portugal.
What's the J term like at William Mary? What's the time frame? What's it look like?
It's the 2nd through the 20th, I think.
Oh, so when do you start your semester?
We don't start till the 24th.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. My guys go back
late though.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. And then, how long is yours? You said just 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, the 2nd through the 20th.
What are you studying over there?
I'm taking a business class. It's a negotiations and communications. So it'll just transfer back to William Mary. 3 credits.
3 credits.
Yep.
And what's your daily schedule look like?
Yeah, we just got it. So it's 9:30 to 12:30, Monday through Friday. So I'll have the whole afternoon to do whatever.
Wow.
There's a casino right in Lisbon too.
Are you going to be able to spend weekends? You going to hit the road and go check out some different cities?
Yeah, definitely going to try to. One place I really want to go. I've talked to my dad about is Nazaré, the big wave in Portugal.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I'd love to go see that.
You can go watch some soccer while you're over there?
Yeah, actually, my roommate, he plays soccer at a D3 in Ohio. And he just texted me. He was like, "Hey, my mom saw that a Sporting Lisbon game is happening while we're there, and she bought tickets for us if you want to come." And I was like, "Definitely."
Who's your roommate?
His name's Quinn.
Quinn? From what school?
He goes, was it at Ohio?
Ohio West?
Ohio. What was it?
It's Ohio Northern or something like that.
North, cool.
They made it to
They're very good.
yeah.
They're good. They upset Messiah in the second round.
Yeah.
That was a
So he's a sophomore.
huge win. That's cool. That's cool. You're staying with him.
Yeah, no, it'll be awesome.
Talk some trash for me, okay?
I got you.
Trash for me. Cool. That's great. That's great. So, Michael, what are you doing?
So I'm doing a program where I go to 3 different places for 6 weeks each. So I'm leaving January or December 31st, and then I'll get there the 1st, and I'll be in London first, then I'll be in Rome, and then I'll be in Sydney for the last 6-week period. And so I'm taking, the way it works is through a third party, and you go to you have 2 classes each term for 6 weeks. So you're not overloaded with 5 or 6 classes that you have to continue throughout your cities. So each class ends, then you have a 2-day break to allow for travel to the next location, and then you travel, check into your apartment, and then start the next block of 2 classes, and then finish off, and then travel to the next place, and that ends May 4th, and then I'll be back here.
That's freaking great.
Mike, do you know anyone you're going with?
I know one person from Trinity who's going, but besides that, I don't know anyone in my group, because you can do each. It doesn't matter what order you do the cities in.
You want to do.
Right, so I don't know who's going to be in Rome when I'm in Rome, or who's going to be in Sydney when I'm in Sydney. So it all depends.
So it's all through yours is all through Trinity.
No, it's through CIEE. I'm not sure what that stands for, but so people from all over the country are going to each location. They have locations in Singapore, China, South America, North America, Canada. So you pick your destinations yourself.
That's fantastic.
So you end up with 18 credits at the end of that?
No, it'll be 12 or 15, depending on how it works, I think. So they're each...
You pass.
Yeah, assuming I pass, of course. It'll be 12 or 15, which I'll transfer back to Trinity,
Cool.
which is great.
Are you graduating in May?
No.
Okay. Right.
No.
Gotcha.
Stay for one more year.
Cool.
One more full year? You're done in January next year? You got another year and a half total?
It could be a year and a half. It could be 1 year. I'm not exactly sure. It depends how the credits fall, and then if there's an internship bit at all, that depends as well.
That's great.
And
So why'd you guys want to do a study abroad? What was your motivation there?
Go first, Augie.
All right, yeah. My mom did one when she was in college. I think she went to Greece. And so she always talked highly of it. And then some of my friends were talking about doing it. I was like, oh, well, I need the credits, and I don't want to. I'm already overloaded my spring semester, so I was like, I don't want to take any summer classes. I don't want to graduate late. So I was just like, I'll ask. The worst that the parents can say is no. And thankfully, it worked out that they were for it. So
no Christmas gifts this year for you, huh?
No.
Yeah. Nice. Michael, what's your motivation?
I mean, I have a few friends who've done it in the past and it's had good reviews for me. But I mean, it's the only time in your life that you'll be this young, able to travel with less with more freedom and less responsibilities before you get older. So I was like, might as well knock out a few credits, go to 3 different countries, and learn from just experience.
And the same thing for you. While you're in London, and I guess Rome might be a little easier, you'll be able to over the weekend, all right, I'm hopping on a train. I'm going to go spend a few days here or whatever, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that's the plan.
That's great.
I forgot to mention my sister also did abroad. She did a whole semester in Florence.
Ooh, yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, she definitely recommends it.
Except she was there when COVID started.
Yeah,
in Florence, which was
we were about to go visit. In the week before, we were scheduled to go, closed everything down, so we didn't get to go.
Do you guys have any soccer planned while you guys are over there to play? I mean, all years is quick, but
yeah. I mean, I was thinking about bringing a pair of boots and just seeing if there are any pickup games or whatnot going around.
Well, I'm sure you'll find that. Michael, do you have any teams or anything you could hop on that's organized?
No, nothing organized yet. I'll be playing this summer, and then this obviously fall for the season. So, and I won't have a car either, so it'll have to be
Right.
It would have to work out like perfectly, but I'm gonna bring my boots and train all the time. But I wouldn't play on a team, I don't think.
Yeah.
A lot of those places are like the public transport is so popular instead of actually driving.
Right? Yeah, we'll see.
How often you guys gonna have to call home?
What did you say?
How often are you guys going to have to call home?
I probably won't call home at all. Nah, I'm just kidding. Maybe once.
I'll call home a good amount. I feel like, depending on my data, how that works out. But
Smart.
Yeah,
I'll communicate home.
You gotta look into that.
I ran into your mom with my kiddos at Costco the other day, Michael. Did she tell you?
I did. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good times, man. Miss you guys. It was fun times. Well, great. Yeah, I'm happy you guys are doing that. I wish everybody would. Like I said, I jump when I have a recruit on campus. I show them where our study abroad offices are on campus. And it's right in our student union, so you can't miss it. And I go through a whole spiel about how important it is. We've had guys do, actually, Augie, your buddy Davis did Madrid. We've had guys go to London, spots in England, that's where Oxford. They're studying over there. I've had guys go to Sweden, Australia, and all of them been able to play a little bit of soccer too. Actually, that's why I asked Michael. We had two guys do an entire semester, different years, back-to-back years in England, and one of them was able to hop on a team, and then the next year connected the other guy to that. So he just showed up, was automatically on a team for that whole semester. So it was kind of cool. He got to play club soccer while he was over there. So
yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah, and I think it's great. That's awesome. You guys are doing that. I would like to see all kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember you showing me where the office was when I was on my visit.
Would that have swayed you?
Maybe a little bit.
No, I did. You just weren't paying attention. That's the student union was heavily populated. A lot of people walking in and out of there. Your eyes were wandering at that time, there, buddy.
Probably.
Yeah. Cool. Well, hey, let's do a little season recap here. All right, let's do a season. Augie, you're shaking your head, so why don't you start? Let's talk about your season here, buddy. How'd it go?
Yeah, definitely had its ups and downs. Didn't have the best record. We had 2 wins. Got my first goal. Was an up.
It's the first game of the season, right? First goal of the season.
First goal of the season.
So you were the team leader. For how long were you the team leader in goals?
That day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we definitely had a lot of games where we either could have tied or could have won it. A lot of late game goals against us, a lot of very early goals against us that were just kind of stupid mistakes, not either being too early to be locked in or too late to like have that focus still there. But then we also had good results like tying UNC at UNC, tied Tech at Tech, which both games I think could have gone in our favor. So I mean, there was stuff like that kind of kept us going, but also the bad losses that we took.
All right, Augie, the first thing we're talking about when we check in on January 8th is accountability. So what type of accountability are you taking for the season? What do you got for us?
I think a little bit, at least personally for me. I went most of the season starting every game, playing a lot of minutes, and then towards the end of the season, lost my starting spot. Wasn't getting very many minutes, and I think I didn't put enough kind of pressure on myself to kind of take accountability for that, kind of playing the blame game, but I think I definitely could have, just put it more on myself in that situation.
So what are you doing about it now?
Just been working out. That's kind of all I can do right now over break. But this summer, definitely going to try to play and just come in more prepared.
Gotcha. All right. Michael, how'd your season go?
It wasn't bad. As a team, I think we got 13 wins, a couple ties maybe, and a few losses. We reached the conference final, lost on PKs, which is unfortunate, to a good team though. And then we reached the second round of the NCAA tournament, where we lost that game. But overall, the team played well. We had a few first years play big minutes, which is good. A few sophomores who didn't play a lot their first year who played really well, and then new faces across the board who popped up in big areas. But overall, it was good. I mean, I didn't. For me personally, it had its ups and downs because I had surgery obviously in May, and then I come back and then I play a few practices, and then my quads are tighter than usual, and I have to sit out, or I play a few more practices, and then my heel has like tendonitis because I just haven't been this active in so long. So, but either way, I'm proud of everyone for how hard they worked. I feel like I think I finished with 8 or 9 goals, which is good. My friend Chen on the team, he got Player of the Year in the conference and All-American, so I'm super happy for him. He's been working his butt off. Yeah, and then we have a few seniors this year who are looking to come back, and then a fifth year is looking to come back in I think a master's program. So it's looking up for next year. So
Well,
yeah, it was a good season.
Same question for Augie. What's your personal accountability for the season?
What
do you need to do?
I think overall I try my best in every area, whether that's off the field, making everyone feel, welcome, the first years feel welcome, working as hard as I could on the field, in the fitness room to try and get healthy. I think I could have been this summer when I was coming back, I didn't focus enough on technique as I should have. So in some areas I'd be through on goal, or I'd have that one more pass to make that would lead to a goal. And since this summer I focused mainly on just my ankle not being, broken, I didn't focus enough on the small details, and so those let me down in the games. But this summer I'm going to play this summer for sure, and I've been training most days this winter, just left foot passes, right foot passes, just
Nice.
long balls, making sure that I'm sharp in every aspect. But yeah, that's the accountability that I will look to improve on next season.
That's good. Well, Michael, you don't have a spring season. You'll be gone, of course.
Yeah.
So, Augie, you guys, you'll check in the 24th. You said you go through. You got to help us out a little bit with the Division I timeline, with what you're allowed to do and how the time increases. But what does your spring look like, and what are your personal goals?
Yeah, I mean, we play 6 games, one being you guys.
Easy game.
And
Super easy game for us.
do we want to throw it back the past 2 years?
What's that?
Do we want to bring up the numbers from the past 2 years?
Yeah, we won both games. It was like, I left at halftime, went drinking with your dad. It was, man, what are you talking about? You were nervous last year, be honest.
A little bit. That one had I was on the edge of my seat a little bit.
At the 80-minute mark, going into the 80-minute mark, you were like, all right, are we gonna not win this game? You were it was on your mind. On your mind.
Right. Definitely. But obviously we came out on top, but
yeah.
So the 6 games. I'm trying to think how many days we practice. I feel like it's like maybe 4 days a week, and then 3 lifts a week. So yeah, we'll have that. And I guess my goal for the spring is pretty much just getting my fitness to where I want it to be, get my strength where I want it to be, and then working on the things that, coaches told me at the end of the season that I need to work on. So trying to really hone in on those areas of my game and seeing if I can get those to where I want them to be and what the standards should be.
Nice. Well, that's good to hear.
I have a question. So like you guys are getting towards the end of you have less career left than you've already had, right? So, as you're going through that and thinking about it, how are you approaching that mentally? And then also, like, how are you kind of passing down what you've learned to, the guys that are younger than you? How are you passing on your wisdom, so to speak?
Mike, you want to go?
Sure. I think it's bittersweet because you play soccer your entire life and you want to keep on playing for as long as you can. But at a certain point, obviously, it comes to an end. But I think just appreciating every, minute I have on the field, whether that's practicing by myself, going for a run, or like playing a big game. I think surgery helped me with that a lot. Just appreciating even the chance to play bad is still a chance to play soccer, and just appreciate what you have. So I think as far as passing on what I know, just being as welcoming to everyone on the team, and just, if you're in practice and, you see someone mess up or you mess up yourself, instead of saying, oh, come on, like, be better, like being just blank statements like that aren't going to help really like anyone, improve with the game. So I think just really giving your all and trying to help each person improve is just one way of passing on your wisdom. And then who knows, like maybe when that kid is a senior or a super senior, they'll remember the time that, I, coached, like helped them, improve a certain aspect of their game. And then they'll do that to some kid in 4 years when they're a senior. And then, hopefully that helps build the culture of the program, and just everyone just improves as well. But yeah, I think that's one way that I'm trying to pass on my wisdom.
Yeah, I think for me, I guess this will be the 4th year going without winning anything at William Mary. So I think definitely looking forward, you don't want to go your whole college career without any, silverware or anything like that. So I think bringing that kind of mindset into next year is a big thing for me, especially with a young team. Just trying to get everyone on board for that, and I think definitely have the players to do it. I think this past season it was cool that we did have so many freshmen in key roles, and just being one of the older guys able to kind of guide them through the process. Like we have a Newport program, so each of the freshmen coming in get one of the guys on the team already to kind of help them adapt to college life, college soccer, just like all the social aspects, classes. So that's definitely a really cool thing that we get to do. So I had Evan on our team, and it's just cool to get to know those guys like that. And I think as much as it is important to, coach them on the field, teach them on the field, it's also just as important to do that off the field, just making sure they're welcome and that kind of stuff like Michael was saying.
What do you guys think? I'm
Go ahead.
sorry, Cheese.
No,
But
go
what
ahead,
do you
Scott.
guys think is like, as a freshman comes in, what do you think all of them have in common, or what are some of the things I should say that they come in with or don't come in with that they're kind of lacking, and maybe they're not expecting that, as they're finishing up their high school career, what could they be doing to get them to a place where they're at least more ready to be a freshman and a freshman college soccer player?
First, Augie.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing is like you definitely got to lose the ego if you have one coming out of high school, and that's the thing that you learn quick in college. You'll get put in your place pretty quickly. And I just think coming in expecting to work hard, and you have to grind for your spot. Just like being realistic with yourself.
Yeah, I think one thing all the freshmen have in common is just you have no idea what to expect. Like you're coming in and you're taking harder classes, you're meeting 10 new people a day, and you're playing with guys 3 or 4 years older than you that have like in some cases started for 4 years. Like we have a kid at Trinity who was on the U15s or 16 Chelsea Academy who played with like Callum Hudson-Odoi and Elise. So like you have him who's obviously started for 4 years, and then you have a kid who, maybe was a, bench player or a fringe starter who's coming in there and he plays the position. So I think just understanding that maybe your time, I think the biggest thing is on the field, your time might not come now. It might not come in 2 years, but if you have a plan to like get to that place, then that's the most important thing, a way to get better every day. And like, I think talking to coaches and your teammates and them giving advice in terms of like, hey, when I was a freshman, I didn't play at all. When I was a sophomore, maybe I didn't play, but then junior and senior year, I picked it up and I was a big part of the team. And so I think it's important to have a relationship with upperclassmen on your team, and then coaches to, guide you in the right direction. So you're not just like in no man's land behind a guy who's, the best player on the team.
Yeah, I think to piggyback that, it's like you pretty much described what my college experience has been like, going freshman, sophomore year, not playing a lot, not really having a key role on the team, just coming off the bench some games, and then just continuing to like keep working hard, like I said, and then maybe you get your chance junior year. So I was grateful that happened for me. So yeah, I guess your time will come if you put the work in.
It's interesting. Freshmen, they always come in, they're naive. They're trying to prove themselves across the board, and I love that. I love that because I'll tell them to do something. They're like, you got it. Whatever you want me to do, I'm doing it right now. And I love that. I've always enjoyed having a solid group of kids that, are super hungry and want to do that. It's also interesting when you see how good your team can go and you compare it to how those seniors are driven. So I've had senior classes. I was actually one of these seniors myself that I came in the least fit I've ever come in. I didn't touch the ball as much. I just kind of I'm going to my senior year. I've already done what I need to do, right? Like, how much more comfortable are you today with your preseason than you were going into your freshman year? You know what to expect. And so if you show up as a senior and you're that comfortable already, you're just setting yourself up for failure. The seniors that are still hungry, like you just described, Augie, I want to win the CAA this year. Like, it's like we need to win one before I graduate. Now's the time. You're hungry. You still have something to prove. Like, those are the teams that do the best when you have a senior group to pair up with that naive group of freshmen. They're just going to run through a brick wall. Those teams, usually you got the sophomore and juniors just fall in and take care of their business. So if you have those older guys that are still hungry, still driven, that want to get after it, and it sounds like both of you want to get after it, still want to learn, still want to pay attention to Coach McGinley and Coach Norris and get better and try to, take that next step. Those freshmen are just going to fall in line. The sophomores are going to fall in line, and it should lead to a more successful season. At least I've experienced that. When we have those seniors that are like, I'm good to go. This is what the team should do. They've already got their opinions in line. This is what the roster should look like. And they're not just showing up, getting to work every day. Those are the teams that fail. Those are the teams that don't. I should say, underachieve. It's hard to have that team and win a championship.
Yeah,
that'll be one of the other messages that we send to our older guys this year when they come back in.
Yeah,
I completely agree.
It's good.
Oh yeah.
What bit of wisdom was passed down to you guys when you were young that maybe something that's stuck with you through your careers that has helped you along the way?
Soccer related wisdom, boys. Nothing that said at
Yeah, it's definitely other stuff coming to mind first in soccer.
I'll start. I remember walking into Shaw's office or locker room, and Shaw was speaking to all of us, and I'm nervous. We don't have we don't have technology like you guys have now, where I can just FaceTime. None of that stuff. I either could call these guys on landlines. I didn't even have a cell phone yet, and so there was no following or anything like that. I showed up to preseason, and the first thing we do is we run at the Nolan Trail. It's a big trail right behind campus. And I'm meeting dudes for the first time. And some of these guys, I'm like, I don't even know who this guy is. And I remember Shaw talking about, he addressed all the classes, and he got to those older guys and goes, I want you to keep learning, prove to me that you can still get better every day. And I was like, oh man. And that was 2000. That was a long time ago. It was 22 years ago. And that's still a message pushing on. So I know it kind of feeds into what we talked about, but I give you guys a little bit more time to think about the advice that you were given.
I was listening to you. I wasn't thinking.
Great.
I guess I'll try and go first. There's not like one piece of advice I think that stuck with me the entire time, like throughout my 4 years. But I think one of the seniors when I first got to Trinity, or one of the fifth years maybe, was just have fun all the time, and like because at the end of the day, like soccer's fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be a job. You're in college. You're go to practice every day to enjoy yourself first and foremost.
Right.
So you're just like, hey man, like have fun, just enjoy yourself, and then I know like you'll find your way regardless. But yeah, I try and just preach to everyone, just have fun.
I
guess that's something I've kind of like learned throughout college. Like obviously, you go in freshman year, like I gotta, like you said earlier, prove myself to the other guys that are on the team, prove that I can start, I can make an impact on this team. Then I guess as you go along, you kind of realize obviously you still need to have that mindset that like you still want to be the best at what you do, but also you want to have fun while you're doing it. And like Michael said, we all love playing this game. We've played it for our whole lives. You just want to have fun doing it.
And it's really hard to beat a team that everyone's having fun. The best teams I've ever been on, whether it's like our team when we were 14 or whether it was like a high school team where all my friends had no idea how to play soccer, and it's just friendship. The best team. It's hard to be a team that's having fun.
Yeah. I feel like the combination of those two mindsets are pretty unstoppable.
Jeez,
what you got? So what are some things you're bringing to your team new this, I guess, next season?
Us?
Yeah. Yeah.
We are gonna every Monday. We've got a meeting of some kind. So the first one will be a meeting. The guys that just checked in, so we'll meet and go over a couple things. Accountability. The first one will be accountability. We just want to get them started with the right mindset for the rest of the time. But each Monday will be something different. So I've already got a few mentors coming in. Actually, a former podcast guy, Jeff Hewlett's going to come down and do a financial meeting with the boys and talk about his book and kind of things that he teaches in his class at JMU. I've got some manly Mondays, we'll call it. Like we'll go change a tire. We'll do some stuff that like basic skills that I think men should know, simple stuff like
That's
that.
Cool.
We'll cook on the grill one day, we'll do some stuff where I'm like, these are basic skills that I bet some of the guys have never done before. So we'll do some of that. We'll do movie Monday. I try to keep it to like, I got motivational Monday, movie Monday, mentor Monday, manly Monday. So, a little alliteration there. So we'll do something where we're together every Monday, give them a chance. They'll go work out and then we'll meet. Or if the schedule's aligned properly, we'll do it at night so we could watch a movie, or maybe there's a big game on in the morning or something. We'll bump it to Sunday instead, something like that. We'll move it around. It's flexible. So that's the biggest thing that we're introducing. We're also going to look into a couple trips. Like there's Scott, what's the name of that park in Hampton where you could rent the big tents, the yurts? Sandy Bottom, is that right? Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Sandy Bottom, I think is what it's called. And
so that sounds like it's from SpongeBob.
They have these huge tents, and we're going to rent them out and let the guys basically camp out all night, and we'll grill. We'll just get a bunch of hot dogs or something. So just different ways to be together rather than on the soccer field with me barking out orders and all that fun stuff. Yeah. So that's what we're going to add to the spring.
That's cool. Chezem, one thing I want you to talk about is your hugs and high fives. I think that's like a cool idea.
You know what? I don't even remember exactly where I feel like I read that somewhere. With how little I read, you'd think I know the one or two books that it came out of. But yeah, so I mean, look, you guys have been on a lot of teams where you get after it. I mean, I'm sure it's even more so now than when you were in high school, because you guys are pretty dialed into your positions with your club and high school team. But now in college, there's way more on the line every day in practice. Like your individual playing time and everything is on the line. So practices are way more intense. And that's true at CNU as well. And so there are days when maybe we just lost a game, or maybe like in your case, Augie, you lost your spot, and you could tell a difference in the situation. You could tell like, all right, those two guys are getting after it. All right, something's going on here, or the trash talk's a little high, or maybe there's some tough tackles. Nothing where like, all right, we got to meet, we got to separate these guys. Nothing like that. I'm just talking like, whoa, all right, let's remind each other at the end of the day, we love each other. We're brothers. We're about to go to the locker room and we're moving on. It's just practice. Let's go through this process. And it's got to the point where the guys recognize it when it's time. It happens every week or two. Hey, that one got a little too much. Let's remind each other we love each other. And so basically you have to do 5 hugs and 5 high fives. And so you walk up, you high five someone, usually you're laughing or whatever. And a lot of times I'll start it off. So let's say Michael and Augie, you guys got after it in practice. I would say, all right, Michael, Augie, get in the middle, kick off hugs and high fives. And you'll see them, do this shake and the hug or whatever. And they laugh and everybody's like, oh, and you can just see them going a line. And it's supposed to be 5, but I think they get everybody, and they'll come up with the staff if like I yelled at one of them or something. Sorry, man, you were right. I should have played that other pass. Whatever. It's just become part of the program now, and they've gotten to the point now where they're doing it themselves. So I'm pretty happy about that.
That's cool.
Hey, I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, I got to figure out where I got that from. Give some
Well, yeah,
credit.
I mean, just look at the 2 books on your shelf, and it's got to be one of those, right?
They're super dusty. I gotta go. You guys do anything that's like team building or character building stuff, either during season or out of season? Do you guys do anything like that?
Not really.
No.
We'll sometimes do stuff like just the guys. Like this past season, we did a few like cookouts at some of the guys' places.
Yeah, that stuff's great.
Yeah, we've done cookouts. We have a family who lives in San Antonio, so they always have us over for cookouts. We're always hanging out no matter what, like whether it's on the field or off the field. We had a guy come in, our assistant coach's dad is like a sports scientist, so he came in and talked to us before one of our playoff games. We have a big team though, so it's hard to get all like, whether it's probably like 50 kids realistically, sometimes more, all in the same place, which kind of sucks. I wish we were all together more, but yeah, it is kind of hard.
Like Hugs and Happens, they're going to be, then the culture is going to take care of itself, and you'll find that in the cafeteria. You'll find that on Saturdays after a big win when you guys are all together, or just in general hanging out, to play FIFA, or hey, there's a big game, let's go to the locker room. Like at our place, we got an awesome TV in the locker room, and so if there's a big game, you'll see 20 guys show up in the locker room that are all either Chelsea fans or Man City fans or whatever. If they're playing each other, it's just a trash talking environment. It's a lot of fun. And but that's, none of that is on purpose by the staff. You guys are the culture. You guys are going to create the type of environment that you guys want to. Of course, we can enhance it. We can throw these nuggets at you guys like we're doing. But the reality is the way you guys act and the way you guys treat everybody, especially the younger guys, the guys right behind you, that's going to be the culture for the future. That's going to be the culture for the next year. And so, you guys are now at the spear of that, at the tip of the spear for that moving forward.
Do you guys feel a responsibility to do that, or a desire to want to pass stuff down and kind of continue to boost the culture in your programs?
Yeah, I think definitely. I would love to try to implement some of that stuff. Obviously, need a little bit of funding, but I think some of that stuff would be really cool.
No, of course, yeah. I'm taking notes right now. I wanna do one of those. I like the Monday thing you said, Cheese. That's a good one.
That was good.
But yeah, for sure. Definitely as I've gotten older, I want to like do more of that, the whole leadership, the whole like mentor role. Whereas maybe when I was a freshman, that was just play soccer, score goals, run fast.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys, you're well aware of the New Zealand All Blacks, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's probably the best culture in the world for sports. The rugby team, the New Zealand rugby team. I'm sure you've seen their haka, when they're doing their. I mean, wow, such respect for them. And they have a mantra. One of their mantras is "Leave New Jersey in a better place." And or what are people going to say about you when you leave? That's one of the things that we tell our guys. The freshmen not as much, but like as they're starting to creep into the older age guys, so going into their junior and senior year. I always ask the question, what are we going to say about you when you're in this meeting next year and you're leaving us? What are we going to say about you? And, that always that usually hits you really hard at first, like, oh man, because then you're rewinding stuff through your head. You're like, oh, the donkey that day, or whatever. Or I think they're going to say some good stuff and you'll start feeding off of those better moments that you've had in your career. And, we always talk about like, are we just going to say you were a good player, but not a good person? Like, what do you want us to say about you? There's more than just, I scored a bunch of goals. It's, what else? Like, what about the academic piece? What about how you treated everybody in the locker room piece? And how were you after a big win? Were you the crazy guy, or were you, dapping up mates and saying good win and, being a good leader? And, it's it's a bigger story than just what happens in those 90-minute increments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Augie, you had the experience this past season of being around a team that played 40 years ago.
Yeah.
But like being around them, what do you think was, what were some of the conversations, and, was there, like, what was just your sense of what their experience was, and compared to yours?
I mean, a lot of the stories they told probably can't be repeated on this. So that kind of just goes to show how close they were. Just they had stories about every single one of their teammates, good, bad, funny, and then just like when people would get up and talk at the program, just making jokes at them. Inside jokes were getting thrown left and right. So I'm sure. I think with the group that we have now, I think that'll probably be pretty similar to what happens if we were to do it 40 years later. But I think saying that, there's still a lot that could be done, just to get us even closer.
Let me ask this,
Augie. Room for improvement.
How do I ask this? I don't want to give it away. I'll just give it away. How much soccer did they talk?
Not much.
Yeah.
That's the thing that stuck out. It's like you're gonna remember. You're probably gonna remember like the stories more than you're gonna remember the soccer. Obviously, the soccer is very important, but it kind of builds off that to go outside of soccer. So
it just shows you, though, how much bigger of a picture it is than just what's happening on the field. I mean, if you're giving everything you got on the field, what are they really going to complain about? So I've noticed that every time I go to a wedding, or we do these anniversaries as well, we'll bring in a team. We did the 30-year anniversary from the 1986 team a few years ago, and I got to know a lot of those guys. And I mean, they were together and they were acting like as if they were in the cafeteria. Yeah. Just jokes back, and absolutely none of it had to do with soccer. And I was just sitting there like blown away. And it makes perfect sense, because I've got best friends from when I played, and we don't talk about the games. It doesn't matter. I mean, it did
that one game.
Well, yeah, it did.
Like we have Wake Forest. We'll bring that up for a while, but
I'm sure. Or I do make this point: if you're a goalie, we do remind you of any bad goal. Brian Shoemate's one of my best buddies, and we remind him of some of his mistakes. And then he'll try to throw stuff back at us, but we just shut stuff down, Yeah, you let the ball in, So one of the things that an alum used to say is we'd win a game like 3-1, 4-1. He would tell the goalkeeper, "You lost 1-0, so you don't get to." So you'll see those jokes. But the coolest thing, Augie, like you're talking about the 40-year reunion, I knew that was the answer. That these guys it's not why they're together. It's not why they came back. They didn't come back from 40 years apart, or I'm sure they've seen each other since then, to go discuss the soccer or go play again. They came back to be together again, to go be brothers again, to feel like they were 21 years old and running around the bars, like that's what they want to feel again.
I also think it's a cool thing seeing like the alumni connection with William Mary. Obviously, I can't experience it at other places, but just shows how much like William Mary and the program does mean to people that have gone through it. So I thought that was just a really cool thing there. Obviously, every one of them's like, if you ever need anything, like reach out. If you ever have any questions, networking, stuff like that. So I think that's just a thing that I know William Mary does a good job in, staying connected to that network and making sure everyone's accounted for.
I mean, all schools, you both are at great schools. All schools have things in place to get you jobs or to get you connected. But, if you could call, hey, I also played soccer at William Mary. I also played soccer at Trinity or CNU. That guy's picking up the phone like, hey, buddy. Yeah, man, I've been following you. Yeah, cool. Let's, worst case scenario, I'm having a conversation with you and pushing you in the right direction, getting you an interview, whatever it is. That pushes you to the front of the line. It really is it's a huge connection that lasts you for the rest of your life. It's really an awesome piece to add to your resume.
Definitely. We're definitely in very, good spots in that aspect.
Geez, you got to get out of here.
I got a couple more minutes. I do want to ask you guys, now that you guys are at the end, you got a little bit of time left. You've got to be thinking about, oh crap, what am I doing next? Have you locked anything down? Are you I think we talked about this a little bit the first time, but are we there now? Like, what's the deal? Do you need me to make a call?
Mike, you got it.
So I want to be an athletic director or work in athletic administration at some stage, or as soon as I possibly can, but probably at some stage. And so I'm working with, I think, the VPCC athletic department this summer once I get back from studying abroad. So that'll just be like a work study, helping them out if they need to make flyers for a game coming up, or washing jerseys, or asking questions, or like whatever the case may be. Just working with the AD and the associate AD, which I can't wait to do, honestly. And then hopefully I'm applying for an internship at Trinity with the admissions department, and that's like giving tours, talking to like admitted students about why Trinity is the place for you, answering questions to like parents and stuff. And that's the direction I want to go down. And so I'm looking forward to hopefully getting the admissions job, and then the job this summer in Hampton. So yeah, those are the two things on my plate right now.
That's great.
Yeah. I'm coming back for a 5th year. Going to play again. I'm doing my MSBA, which is a year master's program in business analytics. So I'm not ready to start working yet. So I'm coming back.
Don't rush it, buddy. Don't rush it.
Nah, after having that internship, I was very confident that I did not want to go into the workforce yet.
Well, when you graduate, maybe you go on another study abroad, a personal study abroad. A lot of people do that. I got a couple. I talked to my guys that are graduating, and one of them is, he's got some stuff lined up, but he's made it clear that he can't start working for a while, and so he's going to Europe with his older brother, and they're just going to do the backpack thing and just hike, and they've got spots planned out, but for the most part, they're going to hostel it or sleep in a tent or something, and basically just be caveman for a month, just go out there and do that part. I mean, I think that's amazing. Then they're going to come home, and they're from the western part of the state, and they're going to do the Appalachian Trail. And so they told me how long it takes to walk it, and they're going to have like 40-pound sack. They're going to sleep outside and do that. So when else are you going to do that? I mean, Scott, can you just imagine at our ages now, just, all right, I'll have to pack up. I mean, I got little kids. Like, what am I going to do? He's like, hey, wife, I'll see you in a month and a half. Those days are over, man. So, I always tell guys,
dreaming.
Yeah, don't rush into it, So, and I also encourage kids to try something new. I've seen a lot of kids go back home with the thought of saving some money, and I think that's a great idea. Don't get me wrong, but they end up staying home, or they stay in that area. And most of these kids have all told me that they don't want to live in that area. And so I'm always like, well, I think now's the time to just jump in. Just jump right in right now. You already don't have enough money. So it doesn't matter. Just go jump in right now. You're going to figure that part out and go live in a place that you want to live, and go get a job right away and go live where you want to live and really challenge yourself. I just think that that's a cool thing to do at 22 years old, when you can have 3 or 4 roommates to kill some of those costs, and you're learning how to live by yourself and do your own thing, because being a 23-year-old college grad living on your own is a lot different than being an 18-year-old kid in college with room, board, and everything kind of paid for. So it's a different challenge in life. I encourage both of you to try those things. Try moving out.
The idea of backpacking has definitely been brought up. Me and a couple of guys.
There you go. If you put it on hold, it'll be on hold forever.
Yeah.
Scott and I talked about this 10 years ago. I got
that trip.
Yeah.
That was before you had kids, cheese. So
Yeah. And now I'm backpacking, but it's just like
With
milk bottles, clothes, and toys.
Yeah, you got diapers in there.
Diapers, wipes.
Yeah.
Different
Yeah.
world.
Youth is wasted on the young, as they say. Yep.
Oh, cool.
All right, gentlemen. Anything else?
That's it. Michael, be safe out there, buddy.
No, I'll try. I will
Make
try.
good decisions.
Yeah, you world travelers, you put your wallet in your front pocket, all right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fanny.
The money belt, Michael?
What was that?
You got your money belt? See
I got a fanny.
I think those things are coming back. The man purse. That thing's like.
I got one that goes across.
They're not my favorite.
I haven't really worn it, but it might come out in Europe.
Nice.
All right. Enjoy your purses.
Of course. Well, it's great talking to you.
Yeah.
See you, Scott.
Good to
Yeah,
see
check
you.
in with us. You guys both have to send pictures so we can post them on the podcast stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Maybe
All
I'll
right.
give you both a scarf. Michael, you're gonna have to wear a CNU soccer scarf. So tell Coach McGinley, sorry, buddy.
Yes. Sorry, Coach. Going to CNU.
You can also have your Trinity one, but you can even say like this is for cheese. CNU soccer has been to Sydney, Australia.
An old friend.
It'll be good.
All right, now.
Okay, hold on.
I don't know.
All right. Now.